Love in the time of autumn. The leaves were turning golden brown, and the air had a crispness to it. It was Sarah's favorite time of the year, and she loved taking long walks in the park, enjoying the beautiful scenery. She had just started her first job as a junior reporter at the local newspaper, and life was full of possibilities. One day, while walking in the park, Sarah bumped into a man. They both apologized, and Sarah noticed that he was holding a book. It was one of her favorites, To Kill a Mockingbird. "I love that book," she said, smiling at him. "Me too," he replied, returning her smile. They introduced themselves, and Sarah learned that his name was Alex. He was an English professor at the nearby university and had recently moved to town. They talked for a while, discussing their favorite books and authors, and Sarah felt a spark between them. As they parted ways, Alex asked for her phone number, and Sarah happily obliged. She couldn't stop thinking about him all day, and when he called her that evening, asking her out for dinner, she was overjoyed. They met at a cozy restaurant, and the conversation flowed easily. They talked about everything from their favorite movies to their dreams and aspirations. Sarah found Alex to be intelligent, kind, and charming, and she felt like she had known him for a long time. After dinner, they took a stroll in the park, admiring the beautiful autumn scenery. Alex took her hand, and Sarah felt her heart skip a beat. They stopped by a small pond, and Alex recited a poem by Robert Frost. "The woods are lovely, dark and deep. But I have promises to keep. And miles to go before I sleep." Sarah was moved by the beauty of the poem, and she knew that she was falling in love with Alex. Over the next few weeks, Sarah and Alex went on many dates, exploring the town and discovering new places. They went to art galleries, museums, and concerts, and Sarah felt like she was living in a dream. One day, while taking a walk in the park, they stumbled upon a small bookstore. Sarah loved books, and she couldn't resist going inside. The bookstore was filled with shelves upon shelves of books, and Sarah felt like a kid in a candy store. As she was browsing through the books, she heard Alex call her name. She turned around and saw that he was holding a small book in his hand. It was a collection of poems by Pablo Neruda, one of her favorite poets. "I found this, and I thought of you," he said, handing her the book. Sarah was touched by the gesture, and she knew that Alex was the one for her. That evening, as they sat by the fireplace in Sarah's apartment, she mustered up the courage to tell Alex how she felt. "Alex, I love you," she said, looking into his eyes. Alex smiled at her, and she felt his hand on hers. "Sarah, I love you too," he said, leaning in to kiss her. As the months went by, Sarah and Alex's love grew stronger. They supported each other in their careers and personal lives, and they knew that they had found their soulmate. One day, while taking a walk in the park, Alex stopped in front of a tree. He took out a small box from his pocket and got down on one knee. "Sarah, I love you more than anything in this world. Will you marry me?" he said, opening the box to reveal a stunning diamond ring. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she looked at Alex, the man she loved with all her heart. She could hardly speak as she nodded her head, tears of joy flowing down her cheeks. Alex slipped the ring on her finger, and they hugged each other tightly, lost in the moment. They decided to get married in the autumn, their favorite season, and they planned everything carefully. Sarah's family and friends came from all over the country, and Alex's colleagues and students attended the wedding too. It was a beautiful ceremony, with golden leaves falling from the trees, creating a magical atmosphere. As they exchanged their vows, Sarah felt like she was the luckiest woman in the world. She was marrying the man she loved, surrounded by their loved ones, and she knew that they would be happy together for the rest of their lives. After the wedding, they went on a honeymoon to Europe, visiting Paris, Rome, and Barcelona. They walked hand in hand through the streets, admiring the art, architecture, and culture of the old continent. They drank wine, ate delicious food, and made memories that would last a lifetime. As they returned home, Sarah and Alex settled into married life. They continued to go on adventures, explore new places, and read books together. They supported each other through the ups and downs of life, and they knew that they had found a love that would last forever. Years passed, and Sarah and Alex grew old together. They sat on the porch of their house, watching the autumn leaves fall, just like they did on their first date. They held hands, reminiscing about their life together, and they knew that they had made the right choice in each other. As the sun set on their life together, Sarah and Alex smiled, knowing that they had lived a life filled with love and happiness. They closed their eyes, content in the knowledge that they had found true love in the time of autumn. The next morning, Sarah woke up to an empty bed. She searched the house, but Alex was nowhere to be found. She started to panic, thinking the worst. She called his phone, but it went straight to voicemail. Just as she was about to call the police, she saw a note on the kitchen table. It was from Alex, telling her to meet him at their favorite spot in the park. When she arrived, she saw Alex standing under the tree where they had their first date. He was holding a bouquet of flowers and a small box. Sarah's heart skipped a beat as he got down on one knee. "Sarah, I love you more than anything in this world. You are my soulmate, my best friend, and the love of my life. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?" Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she looked at Alex, the man she loved with all her heart. She could hardly speak as she nodded her head, tears of joy flowing down her cheeks. Alex slipped the ring on her finger, and they hugged each other tightly, lost in the moment. They decided to get married in the autumn, their favorite season, and they planned everything carefully. Sarah's family and friends came from all over the country, and Alex's colleagues and students attended the wedding too. It was a beautiful ceremony, with golden leaves falling from the trees, creating a magical atmosphere. As they exchanged their vows, Sarah felt like she was the luckiest woman in the world. She was marrying the man she loved, surrounded by their loved ones, and she knew that they would be happy together for the rest of their lives. After the wedding, they went on a honeymoon to Europe, visiting Paris, Rome, and Barcelona. They walked hand in hand through the streets, admiring the art, architecture, and culture of the old continent. They drank wine, ate delicious food, and made memories that would last a lifetime. "Good morning, my love," she said, smiling. "Good morning, my beautiful wife," he replied, smiling back. They spent the day together, enjoying the simple pleasures of married life. They went for a walk in the park, watched a movie, and cooked dinner together. As they sat at the table, eating the meal they had made, Sarah couldn't help but feel grateful for the life they had built together. Over the years, they faced many challenges and obstacles, but they always worked together to overcome them. They celebrated each other's successes and comforted each other during their failures. And through it all, their love only grew stronger. As they approached their golden wedding anniversary, Sarah and Alex decided to renew their vows. They invited their family and friends to join them in a celebration of their love.
As they exchanged rings once again, Sarah felt like she was falling in love all over again. She knew that their love was not just for one season, but for a lifetime. As the party continued late into the night, Sarah and Alex danced together, surrounded by their loved ones. They looked into each other's eyes, knowing that they had found something special that not everyone gets to experience. Their love had endured the test of time, and Sarah knew that they had found true love in the time of autumn. As the night wore on, the party began to wind down, and the guests slowly began to make their way home. Sarah and Alex stayed behind, savoring the last moments of their special day together. As they sat together, holding hands under the starry sky, Sarah couldn't help but reflect on their life together. They had been through so much, but they had always stuck together, through thick and thin. "I love you, Alex," she said, breaking the silence. "I don't think I could have made it through this life without you." Alex squeezed her hand, smiling. "I love you too, Sarah. You are my rock, my soulmate, and my everything." They sat there, lost in their own thoughts, until the sun began to rise. As the first rays of light shone over the horizon, Sarah and Alex stood up, ready to face a new day together. "Let's go home," Alex said, wrapping his arm around her. "I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Sarah. No matter what happens, I will always be here for you." Sarah smiled, feeling her heart overflowing with love. She knew that they had found something special, something that not everyone gets to experience in life. And as they walked hand in hand, back to their home and the life they had built together, she knew that their love would last forever, just like the autumn leaves that fell every year. Weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. Sarah and Alex continued to live their lives together, facing new challenges and joys with the same love and devotion that had sustained them through all those years. As they grew older, Their bodies started to show signs of wear and tear. They both suffered from various health problems, and they knew that their time together was limited. One day, Sarah woke up to find that Alex had passed away peacefully in his sleep. She was devastated, but she knew that he was now in a better place, free from pain and suffering. For weeks, Sarah struggled to come to terms with Alex's passing. She felt lost without him, unsure of how to move on with her life. But then, she remembered the love they had shared. She thought of all the memories they had made together, and she knew that their love would never die. In honor of Alex, Sarah decided to start volunteering at the local hospice, providing comfort and care to those who were facing the end of their lives. She knew that it was what Alex would have wanted, and it gave her a sense of purpose and fulfillment. As she worked with the patients, Sarah saw the same love and devotion that she and Alex had shared, shining in the eyes of the couples who had spent a lifetime together. She realized that true love was not just a feeling, but a commitment. It was the willingness to stand by someone, no matter what life threw their way. It was the willingness to put someone else's needs above your own, to sacrifice your own happiness for theirs. And as she worked with the patients, Sarah felt grateful for the love she had shared with Alex. It had sustained them through all the ups and downs of life, and it would continue to sustain her, even in his absence. In the end, Sarah knew that their love had been a gift, one that would last forever, like the autumn leaves that fell every year. She smiled, feeling Alex's presence with her, and she knew that he was still with her, always and forever.